Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Hearthstone World Championship 2022 starts in around 7ish hours and will last for 3 days, and the decks have now been published on the Play Hearthstone website. So I took a good look at all of the decks, and this is the archetype spread for this tournament. So some observations. Everyone is bringing Priest, everyone is bringing Rogue. But they are bringing multiple different types of priests and rogues, because there's Blessed Priests and there's Control Priests, and then there's Miracle Rogues, Thief Rogues, and Death Rattle Rogues. Which means that even though not everyone is bringing Demon Hunter, then Quest Demon Hunter, which is the only type of Demon Hunter that is being brought, is the most popular individual deck. There are 16 players in the tournament, so 13 of them are bringing Quest Demon Hunter. And in addition to those priests, rogues, and Quest Demon Hunters, well, there's 8 Ramp Druids, 3 Ping Mages, 2 Pure Paladins, 2 Big Spell Mages, 2 Aggro Druids, a Control Paladin, and a Dragon Paladin. So yeah, not all classes are represented. There's no Death Knights. Death Knight cannot be banned in this tournament, but no one brought Death Knight anyway, so it won't be banned, haha. Then there's no Warlocks, and there's no Warriors either, so yeah, that's kind of a thing. Also no Shamans, so quite a few classes not represented here. As for the actual lineups, this is what all 16 lineups look like. In particular, those lineups that are not bringing Quest Demon Hunter have really caught my eye, like Mighty's Control Priest, Thief Rogue, Dragon Paladin, Ping Mage. That is one fancy looking lineup, for example. Also XMG's Blessed Priest, Miracle Rogue, Pure Paladin, Aggro Druid, and Pascoa's Blessed Priest, Death Rattle Rogue, Pure Paladin, Ramp Druid. Pretty interesting things there. And this time I decided to take my pre-coverage up a notch, and I grabbed my old Excel sheet. I actually hadn't used it for 2 years, and did some math. Because this is the type of math that you do in a Conquest tournament, also if you're playing in a Conquest tournament. So when you know what sort of lineups they are, you know what matchups they are going to be, you want to get statistics on those matchups. The statistics on these matchups, they are from Vicious Syndicate and they are from HS Replay, some kind of amalgamation. Obviously, there's some issues with archetype recognition potentially. There's potentially some tech choices or within inner archetype choices that are not well represented by these numbers, so those of course may cause some errors. And then once you know the matchups, then you can enter the matrix of the deck pair win rates, and once you have those win rates, then you can calculate what are the Nash equilibrium bands, because then you will know what are the optimal bands. So for example, here in this matchup against Blessed Priest, Miracle Rogue, Quest Demon Hunter, Ramp Druid versus Control Priest, Death Rattle Rogue, Quest Demon Hunter, and Big Spell Mage, when you enter these and fetch the individual matchups from the overall matchup table, you come up with these win rates from perspective of player number 1, depending on the bands. And in this particular case, the Nash equilibrium band is going to be Blessed Priest and Control Priest are going to be banned, and player A is going to win at 52% probability if the win rates of the matchups are correct. Just basic math that I expect every player nowadays to do in a Hearthstone tournament, so that they will be able to ban optimally in every single matchup. So okay, if we extrapolate from this and start looking at the groups, then who is going to be winning? Obviously, I would need to do like simulations over thousands of runs to get like the overall possibility that every individual player would win. But what about if we take a little bit more simplistic approach, and let's say that the favorite player is going to win every time, then who is going to be a world champion? If the favorite player with Nash equilibrium bands is going to win every time, this is what Group A would look like. We have XC versus Dead Draw, and XC is going to win. We have Yuyi versus Splices, and Splices is going to win that one. And then Splices is also going to win against XC. And Dead Draw is going to face Yuyi. Dead Draw is going to be able to win that, but then he's going to meet XC again. And like in the first time, XC is going to win, so Splices and XC would continue to the top 8 from Group A. As for Group B, we have Glory versus Tianming, and Glory is going to win that one. And we have CRT versus Jala, and Jala is going to win that one, but Glory beats Jala and Glory goes through. Whereas Tianming, CLT beats Tianming, and then we have Jala versus CLT again, the same matchup, and so Jala goes through in second place from Group B. And in Group C, we're seeing probably the most dominant lineup that we see in this tournament according to the statistics, and that's the lineup of Mighty. Because Mighty should just crush Habukapu, and then Mighty should beat XMG, Mighty going through, XMG beats Possessi here, then Habukapu versus Possessi, Possessi also beats Habukapu, and XMG is able to beat Possessi and progress. But Mighty's lineup shows some of the highest win rates that I have seen when you enter the numbers into the calculation, and yeah, Mighty is looking mighty good. And finally in Group D, Levik versus Xiaobai. Levik is going to beat that. Then Bunnyhopper versus Pascoa. Pascoa beats Bunnyhopper, and Levik beats Pascoa, so Levik goes through. Xiaobai versus Bunnyhopper. Xiaobai will win. Then Pascoa versus Xiaobai, and Pascoa is going to win. And these are two that are going to go through from Group D. And at this point, I came across a rather unpleasant discovery, which is that there is nothing about how the top 8 bracket is going to be formed from these players. To be specific, in the overall rulebook, it does say that people who go 2-0 will meet people who have went 2-1. So yeah, but A, B, C, D, there's nothing about which group is going to meet which group, so we simply don't know what the top 8 bracket is going to be like, so I can't continue this. Other than say that Mighty's lineup, personally looking at all of the lineups that are here, Mighty's lineup looks like the strongest one, so I would say that Mighty is currently the most favored to win. But obviously there's a lot of matchups like, hey, someone has 52% chance to win, and at most, like Mighty I think at best gets like something like 60-40 to win an overall match, which is really good. But it's all Hearthstone anyway, so anything can happen, which is one reason to tune in and see how the championship is going to go from Friday to Sunday. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.